The coffee shop was quiet when Leo slid a small velvet box across the table. His heart hammered against his ribs as he looked into Sarah's eyes. He had spent months carefully planning this moment, wanting nothing more than to build a quiet, honest life with the woman sitting across from him. Wearing his usual faded denim jacket, he took a deep breath, offering her his heart completely. Sarah stared at the modest silver band resting in the box, her expression slowly shifting from surprise to profound disappointment. She looked at Leo, taking in his scuffed boots and the reliable but rusty sedan parked outside the window. A heavy silence settled between them as she pushed the box back toward him. The warmth drained from the room, leaving a chilling realization of the heartbreak that was about to unfold. "Leo, you are a good person, but I cannot do this," Sarah said, her voice dropping to a harsh whisper. She crossed her arms, her gaze turning cold. "I need security. I need a man who can actually provide a future, not someone who is struggling to make rent every single month. I am sorry, but you are poor, and that is not the life I want for myself." The harsh words struck Leo like a physical blow, yet he did not raise his voice or flinch. He simply looked at the woman he thought he knew, realizing in that precise moment that they valued entirely different things in life. Slowly, he closed the velvet box and slipped it back into his jacket pocket. He offered no arguments, no desperate pleas, and importantly, no sudden revelations about his reality. "I understand," Leo replied quietly, his voice steady despite the painful sting of rejection. He stood up, paid for their coffees, and walked out into the crisp afternoon air. As he drove away in his old car, a profound sadness washed over him. However, beneath the immediate grief was a quiet sense of confirmation. He had needed to know if she loved him for his soul, not his circumstances. 14 months passed since that afternoon in the coffee shop. Sarah had aggressively climbed the corporate ladder, securing a mid-level management position at a prestigious real estate firm in the city. She surrounded herself with ambitious people and expensive things, constantly chasing the financial security she had always prioritized over everything else. Yet, despite her growing salary, an undeniable emptiness lingered beneath her carefully curated, professional exterior. Rumors began swirling around Sarah's office about a massive corporate acquisition. A notoriously private billionaire investor, known for his vast portfolio and philanthropic efforts, was buying out their entire firm. The office was buzzing with nervous energy and intense speculation. Everyone wanted to make an impeccable first impression on the new owner, and Sarah spent hours preparing, hoping this transition would be her ticket to the executive floor. The day of the official takeover arrived, bringing a palpable tension to the corporate lobby. Senior staff members, including Sarah, stood in a neat line, eagerly waiting for the arrival of the new chief executive. Outside the glass doors, a sleek black town car pulled up to the curb. Whispers rippled through the gathered crowd as the driver stepped out and quickly moved to open the rear passenger door. A tall man stepped into the lobby, dressed in an impeccably tailored dark navy suit that radiated quiet authority. As he removed his sunglasses and smiled politely at the welcoming committee, Sarah felt the air completely vanish from her lungs. The man shaking hands with her boss was none other than Leo. He possessed the same kind eyes, but the faded denim jacket was long gone. Sarah's mind raced as a wave of absolute shock washed over her. She felt entirely frozen in place, her heart pounding with a mixture of disbelief and sudden crushing embarrassment. The man she had brutally dismissed as broke, the man whose modest lifestyle she had openly mocked, was actually the billionaire acquiring her company. The profound weight of her past judgment threatened to pull her right under the floorboards. During the company-wide address, Leo spoke eloquently about his vision for the firm's future. He emphasized the paramount importance of integrity, community investment, and valuing people far above simple profit margins. He spoke with the same quiet humility he had always possessed. When his eyes briefly met Sarah's across the crowded boardroom, there was no arrogance or triumph in his gaze, only a calm, composed sense of professional distance. Once the meeting concluded, Sarah waited anxiously in the hallway, her hands trembling slightly as she intercepted him near the elevators. "Leo, I had no idea," she stammered, her face flushed with deep shame. "If I had known who you really were back then, I would have never said those terrible things. I was incredibly foolish, and I am so truly sorry for the way I treated you." Leo paused, looking at her with a gentle yet firm expression. "You knew exactly who I was, Sarah," he replied softly. "You knew my character, my heart, and how I treated you. The only thing you did not know was the balance of my bank account." His words were not spoken with malice, but rather with a profound, undeniable truth that left her utterly speechless and standing in silence. "I wanted a partner who loved the man in the rusty car, not the man in the tailored suit," Leo continued, his voice perfectly even. "Wealth can vanish in a single day, but character is what remains when you have absolutely nothing left." He offered her a polite nod of acknowledgement, pressing the elevator button. He carried no resentment, only the peaceful closure of a man who knew his worth. As the elevator doors slowly slid shut, Sarah was left standing alone in the quiet hallway. The pursuit of superficial security had cost her the very thing she truly needed, a partner of genuine substance. She finally understood that true poverty has nothing to do with money. It is a condition of the heart, and judging someone by their wallet is the fastest way to bankrupt your own soul.